Hey YouTube, this is the art of prepping. So you have different types of preppers. The first category I'd say is the preppers in name only. These are those weekend warriors, and I'm not talking about the National Guard members or those who go camping on the weekend. I'm talking about those who, after working, throughout the week, they plop themselves down on the weekend in front of their computer, and they become the keyboard commando or the armchair elites. And these people are the wannabe survivalists, wannabe preppers, wannabe bushcrafters, and they're the Navy SEALs of the living room. These individuals pretty much don't have any skill sets, no personal experience doing any of this stuff, and they probably have no resources. And so just ignore these individuals. And what I would do personally would be to just pretend they don't exist and don't take their advice. Now, there's really three main categories of real preppers, in my opinion. The first one would be the basic amateur prepper. These preppers are more oriented toward mitigating their suffering of their family and themselves, and getting through threats that are more weather-based and power outage-based. These individuals typically have 1 to 4 weeks of all provisions, and it's a good start. The next level would be the intermediate, what I would call the seasoned prepper. These seasoned and more experienced individuals, these are more general preppers. They have a more broader outlook, and they go a little bit beyond the actual weather threats and power outages threats. These individuals typically have 1 to 3 months of all provisions, and they don't typically prep on a single issue. Some do, but very few, in my opinion, unless you go like on the National Geographic's, that particular show, The Doomsday Prepper, even though it's not around anymore, thank God. Now, that show was very unbalanced, and that showed some people that were on a very, very narrow focus, and they were really tied up, and they were tripping over their single ideology of what to prep for. The last, category here of preppers would be what I would consider the advanced prepper. You can go so far as, say, a pro prepper or a professional prepper. I would say 3 months to 2 years, and of all provisions, which is very impressive, and that's very good. As if you can do that, then by all means do so. A lot of people don't have that option, or they have many challenges in life, and that's a very big and difficult milestone to get to. Now, with that being said, some people do go beyond the 2 years and have 2+ years. Some people as much as maybe even 5 years. That's in extreme cases, and very few people would even go that far. But if you can do it, I don't really see why you shouldn't. But that's, in a lot of people's minds, pretty extreme. But I don't think it's extreme to have a safety net that large. I don't think you can ever go too far with things like that, because maybe you won't need all that, but maybe you can help your family or even your neighbors. So who are you to say that that's too much? Of course, there's a lot of people who put them in the camp of they're hoarders. Well, there could be some in there that could be, but the act of preparing is not a hoarding activity. It's a forward-thinking activity that's done to prevent pain and suffering of others in very bad times. So during an emergency, those people are not drawing and pulling resources from the community, and in most terms, they're giving into the community, and they're not a burden whatsoever. So what's the comfort zone really for the pro prepper? The ultimate goals. It typically really is between, in my opinion, from what I've seen, 6 months to a year. That's really a good sweet spot for most people. And if you look at any of the literature, especially from government sources, if you can weather a year, man, you can outlast about 90% of the population, no joke. So that's a real serious level, and you should strive for that, in my opinion. So these advanced and pro preppers are long-term preppers, obviously. They have long outlooks in terms of preps, and they have deep contingencies and multiple options. It's not just their physical preps. They have lots of knowledge and skills and experience, and they have a lot of redundancies, gardens, for example, for food, maybe livestock, maybe they have chicken coop, rabbit coop, maybe they have a lot of sprouting capabilities and large seed storage. They have resources, and they have a system that works. With that, I want to thank you for for watching the video and listening to me ramble about the different types of preppers. Have a great day.